Toynado!
Hi, I'm Anthony. I've been rummaging through the garage trying to find something new, something exciting, something with a bit more oomph for today's Toy Toynado. And with me is a man who has the dress sense of Ric Flair, the can-do attitude of Macho Man Randy Savage, and is here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. It's Pete.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I don't actually like bubblegum, but keep going. I like the groove. I like what we're making.
Hey Pete, what do you think today's Toy Tornado is going to be about?
Toys made out of bubblegum.
It's something very exciting. It's something very 80s.
Anthony-
And it's something I think you're going to love.
Was my choice of bubblegum wrong?
Today on Toy Tornado, we're going to be looking at Muscle Men.
Of course, it was the Randy Savage. That was the clue, not the bubblegum.
Do you remember Muscle Men, Pete?
No, not really. Like, I know of their existence. I've just never had any.
Now, Muscle Men were first released in 1983 in Japan under the name Kenkishi. I think I got that right. Kinkeshi? Anyway, they were collectible erasers that you could get. I'm pretty sure they were based on an anime or a manga from the time. In 1985, they were released to the US market, and therefore Australia, as Muscle Men. Not really erasers anymore, but definitely hard rubber. The initial ones came out in skin color tones, much like these ones. And then they were released in a whole bunch of different colors. They were initially released in packs of 4 on cards, and then in packs of 10 in little rubbish bins, which I really thought were cool at the time. Who am I kidding? At the time, I still think they're cool now. Anyway, there were a couple of different accessories you could get as well. From what I remember, there was like a wrestling ring, because they were wrestlers, and there was like a wrestling belt that you could keep your prize one in, that you could actually wear, which is pretty interesting. Pretty sure there was a board game, and possibly a computer game. I'm sure somebody can fact check me on that.
Come on, one of our subscribers. Help us out. Do a fact check.
There were 236 Muscle Men released within USA and Australia, as far as I'm aware. They did come in all different colours, so you could have the same one in at least 5 different colours. So I suppose that technically makes the collection a little bit bigger if you are that type of completionist.
You know, if you do get addicted to this, you're going to be one of those type of collectors that's going to have every colour. Every colour.
It will not come as a surprise to you, Pete, that I have a story to go along with these guys.
Wait. And now it's time for Anthony's story.
I will take you back to when I was 6 or 7, and we were looking for a present for a friend's birthday.
Sounds legit so far.
I remember that we got the tin of 10 Muscle Men for said birthday child. And my brother also got one, but for some reason I didn't get anything. Maybe it was because we were buying something for somebody else, so that counted as for me. Don't really remember. But on the way home, I clearly wanted the Muscle Men. In the end, I got the one meant for the birthday child, and I think we got the birthday child a transformer of sorts. Either way. And I, as a little kid, was so impressed with the 10 Muscle Men that I got out of that little bin, and I kept that little bin for years and years. I think the lid broke off, and I still kept it, and probably only been within the last 10 years that it got thrown away. Not by me, clearly, because I don't throw anything away.
No, you just steal other kids' birthday presents.
Not realising that these guys actually had names. Actually found that out last night while trying to do some research for this. I gave the characters their own little names and personalities. Do I remember what they were? Not at all. There's a werewolf-looking one. He was probably called Wolvie.
Isn't it meant to be more like, Wolfie! The raging wrestler! Hoo, 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 hoo!
Maybe. There's a guy with drills for hands. He probably would have been called Drill. I don't know. There's a guy who looks like a mummy. He was probably the mummy. There's a guy with a hole in his head. He was probably a whole head. As you can guess, as a child, I was very creative with names for these guys. So in my mind, the wolf guy was the leader of my team. My brother, in his little tin, got this lizard that looked like a king, and he was the leader of my brother's wrestlers. And for some reason, there were wrestlers who had weapons. Like I had a guy who had 2 axes, and my brother had a guy who had a crossbow. Certainly the wackiest wrestling match, I imagine. And Pete, I've picked up a few of these guys over the years. Occasionally I'll see them at markets. Like, it's not something I've really been hunting for. But if I see them, fairly cheaply, I'll pick up 1 or 2 because they still look really, really cool. And I'm pretty sure that I've picked some up from like Vinnie's or Lifeline over the years. So I've got slightly more than my 10 and my brother's 10 now. Pete, up until last night, I didn't realize they each had names, but I did find online a really cool guide that had pictures of every single one with their names. And I'm going to be honest with you, Pete, this might be the next thing that I try to get more of.
Try. Let's rephrase it. You will be getting more. You will get the full collection.
Oh yeah, also, there's a bunch of these like weird blocky robot guys. I think I'm also going to have to see if it's an anime, I'm going to have to find the English dub of it, because it looks like it would be absolutely insane. As you can imagine, Pete, over the years, many hours of fun were had with these muscle men. And here's something I know you will appreciate, Pete, that not too many years ago, they re-released some muscle men as Masters of the Universe.
I can see it now. He-Man laying the smack down on Skeletor. Battle Cat pulling Beast up over the ring and throwing him down. Oh, yeah.
So it is possible to tie these two 80s franchises together and have Muscle Men, Masters of the Universe. Oh, and I finally found out what muscle means. Millions of unusual, small creatures lurking everywhere. I didn't try to say that like 3 times.
Millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere. Millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere. Millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere.